What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are here again today with this 2019 Nissan Titan, and from previous videos you could see that I was having an issue with the starting of this vehicle. So after much research, I'm gonna go ahead and try this module here. It's called the IPDM module. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna replace this inside this. So we're gonna show you where it is located, how to get it out. We're gonna swap this guy out and hopefully see that we can get this thing to start. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is remove this battery. We have two 10s on each side here, so we're gonna go ahead and take those out. So then this slides up, put that to the side. Then we've got to release the leads for the battery terminal. So next thing we gotta do is remove the battery. So I kind of push it forward, kind of give it a little tilt, then slide it back. It does have quite a bit of weight to it. Once you got it tilted up, then you can lift it out. Okay, next up, I'm just gonna remove this here, kind of get it out the way. So you kind of pull on the edges, pull them out, get that out the way. Okay, and then we're gonna actually remove this box here. So there are some tabs on the side. One's over here, one's here. You just push in, pull out. Now to get this out, you kind of have to wiggle it just a little bit. So kind of push up and kind of wiggle it out because it's sitting on top of that unit right in there. So you just slide it out. Yeah, there you go. Now this is the module that we need to take out. So you're gonna need to get you a flat head, and let's see if we can get in here, kind of show you what we got going on. So here inside you have multiple connectors that we need to release in order to get this module out. Once you release these connectors, there are these little tabs on the side you push in on. One over here as well. And then we'll be able to pull that out. So let me go ahead, get my flathead, and we'll start pulling out those connectors. So with this last plug way in the bottom here, what I found to be helpful is to kind of push in right here in this spot. And once you get that done, kind of put your tool and wedge it right on the edge. Give it a little wiggle to kind of release it, because it feels like it's pretty tight. And then you should be able to pull it out. Okay, so now that all the plugs have been disconnected, so now what I'm gonna do is, there's a little tab here, so I'm gonna pull on this tab, kind of lift up a little bit, get it loose, and then while I'm holding that, I'm gonna come on this side and do the same thing, kind of just help it up, pull it, wiggle it, and then you should be able to get it out. And then what you'll do is you'll kind of tilt it towards you, and then you'll slide it out. So this is the suspected module that's giving us the issue. This is the IPDM. So I went ahead and picked up a part for this. So we're gonna go ahead and swap this out, see if it solves our problem. So there you have it. Here's the part we're gonna put in. So you just do the same reverse steps. It sits in like this. You can see the little tabs here that are pressed to get it up. And you can see how many different plugs we have here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different plugs that have to go back in. So let's get this baby in and see if it solves the problems. Okay, now that we got all the plugs back in place, we're gonna go ahead and just slide it in, let it lock in, and then we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna hook back up the battery, test this thing out, see if it works. This is fantastic news. I mean, you can just hear the difference. Listen to the revs. It's strong, it's powerful. It doesn't have that croaking like it wants to shut off anymore. I think we're back in business. So we're gonna try the remote start, see if we get a nice sturdy crank. Boom! Well, at this stage of the video, I am reviewing what solved the problem, so I thought. So I went on a rant here about how the problem was fixed. Little did I know this was just the beginning of trying to find what the problem is. What's going on? It's your boy BT. We are getting ready here to test this battery. Like this, listen, we are going to test this battery for ourselves. When in doubt, do it yourself. So right here, this is what we got. So right here we have the Top Done BT300. So we're gonna go ahead and test this battery for ourselves. So we're gonna go ahead and get this hooked up. We've got everything hooked up right here. We are going to do the battery test. This is a regular flooded battery. We got CCAs here. So this battery, for some reason, it is not in CCA. It is actually in EN. So we're gonna go ahead and pump that up to what it says, which is right here. It says 720. So we're gonna bump this up here to 720. Okay, hit enter. And we're gonna test this battery. So right now it says the battery's health is at 50%. Charge is at 28%. And hit enter. Get our little printout here. So now we're gonna do a cranking test. Please start engine. Okay, we got cranking. Cranking is low. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The battery tester has spoken. We've conducted several tests, and it is saying to replace this battery. So we're gonna start here where we started in the beginning, but had doubts because it was tested twice. We're gonna start here and get this thing replaced. So as you can see from the previous footage, I swapped out the IPDM module and thought that solved the problem. Well, the truck ran fine for the remainder of the day, but the following day we started seeing the same symptoms again, which is why we decided to look at the battery. So let's go ahead and get that battery put in. Factory batteries on top, replacement on the bottom. For the non-XD models, this is the part number that I was given. It's supposed to be an AGM battery. The one from the factory, boom, right here. This part number is discontinued. This is actually an EFB, an enhanced flooded battery. It's not an AGM. I was told it came with an AGM from the factory. So here's the AGM. Skip all that. Let's get this thing in the truck and see what happens. And would you look at that? This battery actually has handles. All right, let's see what we get now. Well, looks like we're getting the same issue, so the problem is still not resolved. Since this exhaust tube has a pretty bad bend over here, I am going to go ahead and take this off just to rule out in case the engine is not breathing properly. All right, so we got this battery change. It did not solve the problem. The car still continued to do its interesting behavior. But one thing that I found is that yesterday I got in the car, I hooked up the scanner to the car, and since my scanner is a little older, I put it in as a 2017. I read the codes. As you can hear, it's running right now. I read the codes and I let it run for a little bit, and it seems to be working fine. So there's some suspicions about what could be the issue, but here we have a 2019 truck with 14,000 miles showing us a 29-degree Fahrenheit reading when it's clearly much warmer than that. So it looks like we have a sensor that went out there. So as for now, as you can hear, it's running. There's no hiccup. It actually starts when you push the button. So it's, yeah, not quite sure. But so yesterday, got in the car, let it run a little bit while I was checking the scanner, and then I noticed that the hiccup that was happening went away. Did a little bit more research. Basically, okay, so when I looked at the scanner, I saw a P0725 code, right? And that code is either related to the camshaft or the crankshaft sensors. And so maybe one of them's going out. Maybe it's the crankshaft sensor that's going out, but it's actually starting consistently with no issues now. So it's very strange. But as I mentioned, I did see that ambient temperature sensor is giving me an improper reading. When I checked it on the computer, it was actually reading 50-something degrees, and this clearly says 29. So that sensor is broken. So needless to say, this issue is not quite resolved yet, but there are several components in play. We talked about the IPDM module and how that can give symptoms as similar to what I'm seeing. We talked about the fuel pump going out, similar symptoms as well. Now we talk about the crankshaft sensor, also has a play in that fuel delivery. So not quite sure exactly what it is, but now that we know the various components that are involved in this particular issue, if you have this issue, at least you know where to start. So as far as the problem, it's not 100% fixed, but we at least have some components that we have narrowed down to as to what could be the problem. But as for now, the car is running, it's starting, it's moving, it's driving. So at this point, I think we can resume with where we left off in this rebuild process and kind of forget about this for now until we break down on the road. So with that said, we got some parts here to replace. We got another one to replace. And after all this looking around, we have now found that we've got a broken headlight, cracked, okay, plastic cracked. So we'll have to be on the hunt for a headlight. So this guy right here, that's got scratched. We'll see how we deal with that. And then we got to figure out if we're going to try to refinish this guy, whatever that looks like, or just replace it. But we're gonna start this process. We're gonna work through it, hopefully get this done fairly quickly. Not too sure what the shop is gonna tell me once we get to here and here and here and here. But we're gonna take you along on this journey. It's your boy BT. As for this video, we're done, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.